please, just wait a moment. What about for dessert, Carl?
Will you cut it out? What about lemon meringue pie?
Ooh, Bernie, what has gotten into you today? You're being so impolite. Bernie!
Hey, you!
That is horrible. Now you stop it. You're being so impolite. Bernie, do you know that it's not polite to interrupt others when they're talking? Unless it's an emergency. Is this an emergency? Well, then I'm sorry, but you're going to have to politely wait until Carl and I are done. Bernie, wait nicely. You stay here. Now, Carl.
Little pest.
Now, Carl, don't be harsh. Perhaps Bernie doesn't understand about being polite. He needs someone to teach him. Bernie, that was rude too. Are you okay, Carl?
I'm fine.
The two of you, stop it. Okay, listen, Bernie, today's show is all about being polite. Maybe you and the children can stay and learn all about being polite. And after, we can cut into this cake. I hope you'll stay with us. We need your help.
Let's get all our friends, 'cause it's that time again. It's time to head on down to Miss Charity's Diner. Dusty's gonna come along, and we'll see Farmer Shalom. It's time to have some fun at Miss Charity's Diner. Take Constable Howie by the hand, Sue Lynn, Josiah, and Mr. Dan. Another special day is coming our way at Miss Charity's Diner. Mr. Radium's got a story for you. Mr. Bookworm's gonna be there too. More things to learn, more things to do at Miss Charity's Diner. Carl's got his apron on. Mr. Marty's singing a song. Everybody come along to Miss Charity's Diner. Come on, let the fun begin, 'cause it's that time again. Happy day with all our friends at Miss Charity's Diner. Nothing could be finer than to spend some time at Miss Charity's Diner.
So did you have a good time at Naomi's sleepover?
Yeah, it was so fun.
And you did as well? Oh, that is so good. It's fun to get together with friends.
That sure looks good, Miss Charity.
Does it ever?
Who's it for?
It's for Mr. McDonald next door. It's his birthday today, and I wanted to surprise him with a chocolate lemon cake.
Is there anything I can do to help you, Miss Charity?
Why, thank you, Corey. As a matter of fact, I do have something you can do.
What?
Well, if you don't mind, could you ask Carl for a package of birthday candles?
I wouldn't mind at all.
Thank you. That Corey is so polite and helpful, too. He's such a nice young man.
He's always nice.
He's the nicest boy in our whole entire school.
You two certainly are blessed to have a friend like Corey.
There you are, Miss Charity.
Thank you, Corey.
Is there anything else I can do to help you?
Well, I can't think of anything else right now. Your parents have done a wonderful job raising you, Corey.
Miss Charity, Corey doesn't have any parents.
They died in a car crash a few years ago.
And now he lives with his grandma.
Oh, Corey, I am so sorry. I didn't know about your parents.
That's okay, Miss Charity.
I guess since you're so polite, I just assumed that your parents raised you to be that way.
They did. Well, at least what I remember about them.
Would you like to talk about it, Corey?
I remember them telling me to treat others the way I wanted to be treated.
Oh, like Jesus teaches us.
What do you mean?
Well, Jesus said, "This I command you, that you love one another."
But what does that mean?
Well, it means that love is giving.
And caring.
And sharing?
And being polite?
Exactly.
Sometimes I get tired of being polite.
You do?
It's a lot of work.
How would you like to learn how to never run out of politeness or love?
I'd love to.
Hey, Rebecca, you want to go get Mr. McDonald his card now?
Okay.
I'll be right back. I just have to go check on my customers.
Hey, farmer, look at those pigs over there. Ever rude.
Yeah, well, I guess they're pretty hungry, Dusty.
Wow, look at they're pushing and shoving and trying to get more than each other. Ah,
They just don't have anybody to teach them manners.
Well, they're definitely not a very polite animal.
You can say that again.
They're definitely not a really polite animal.
Animal.
Oh,
Animal. You get a little syllable mixed up there.
you think they've never been fed before?
Well, I remember when you weren't so polite either, Don.
Me? Oh, what, never?
Oh, yeah. Why, you couldn't wait for me to put the bowl down. I could barely get it out of my hands, and you're trying to eat the food right out of there.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah, and you'd even try to get my food when I was eating.
I did that?
You sure did. You used to interrupt me and butt in. You wouldn't let me finish a sentence.
I'm sorry. I was just a little guy, right?
You were just a puppy then, Dusty. I hadn't taught you how to be polite yet.
I know that I shouldn't interrupt you when you're talking because it's so rude and unkind.
That's right, Dusty. It sure is.
Oh, and I know not to grab things out of your hand or from others. That's wrong, too.
That's very good, Dusty.
And you also taught me to say please and thank you.
Those are very important words. You should always use those words, always.
But I do. And thank you so much for teaching me, Farmer.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's sure nice when someone's polite to you.
Yeah. You know, the Bible tells us that we should be kind and giving to everyone. And, well, if we're rude, that's really not the right way to be. And it's definitely not God's way.
Hey, Farmer.
Yes, Dusty.
Do you think you can teach Oinky and Boinky and that other unclean animal over there some manners?
I don't think so, Dusty. No, I don't think so.
So then you got time to get me some lunch, huh?
I already got you lunch. You don't want more, do you?
There's nothing in there.
You don't want to be called a pig, do you?
No.
I'll tell you what, you did so well in the first bowl. Bless you. I'll get you some more. You want the dry stuff or the waste?
Dry.
Dry?
Okay, Corey. God's love is a gift that he gives to you and me, and it comes free of charge, and it comes with everything that we need to have a peaceful life.
So God's love is like a present?
Exactly. And no matter how many times we open it, he gives us more.
Every single day?
Over and over and over again.
May I have some of that, please?
You certainly may.
But what do I have to do?
Well, you don't have to do anything. You just have to ask. Repeat after me. Say, Jesus,
Jesus,
please come into my heart.
please come into my heart
And please give me your free gift of love.
and give me that free gift of love you have.
Over and over and over again.
Over and over and over again.
Amen.
Amen. Now there's only one thing left to say.
And what's that?
Thank you, Jesus.
That's wonderful, Corey. How about we go give this birthday cake to Mr. McDonald?
Oh, okay.
Would you like to carry it?
Yes, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What a wonderful day for you, Corey.
Hi, my name is Abby. I've come down here to Miss Charity's Diner to tell you about Miss Charity's Kids Club website. When you're a member, it's really awesome. You can email any of the characters like Miss Charity, Mr. Stan, and even Josiah and Sule. When you go to the website, you will see all of Miss Charity Diner's episodes for life. You could even get a birthday card from Miss Charity when it's your birthday. There are whole sorts of neat things to do at Miss Charity Diner's Kids Club website, and all you have to do is go to www.faithville.com and make sure it's okay with your mom or dad and tell them Abby sent you. Remember, the website is www.faithville.com.
We are ready for another wonderful day.
Miss Geranium, when I'm done work today, is it okay if I go over to Willie's house so I can play for a little bit?
Hey, don't you mean Miss Geranium? If the work I do today should happen to meet your approval, may I please visit with my friend William after my day's employment has drawn to a suitable conclusion?
Huh? Huh? What planet did you buzz down from? The planet Unbelievable?
Mr. Bookworm, I will handle this.
But gosh, Miss Geranium, all I was trying to do was to see if I could go hang out with Willie later.
Oh, what he meant to say, Miss Geranium, is With your complete approval, may I associate with my dear friend William?
Oh, brother.
Mr. B, where on earth did you learn to talk like that?
From this, my new book I'm reading. It's called How to Be Polite by Am I Good?
Oh, well, that's really wonderful, Mr. B. I'm glad that you're learning about manners and things, but I think you might have gotten things just a little topsy-turvy there.
I think I'm just going to need a little further clarification on that, Miss Geranium.
I would gladly provide that with a story. Girls and boys at home, would you like to hear a story about being polite? Now, boys, Chucky and Gordy's mom began. I want you to remember your manners while you're at Aunt Wendy's visiting. Oh, yeah, no problem, said Gordy. Why, yes, Mother, of course we'll remember our manners, Chucky said, smiling. Don't you mean, Chucky began. Of course, Mother, we are going to remember our manners and to be polite with Aunt Wendy. Oh, brother, Gordy said. Well, off they went to Aunt Wendy's, and that night at dinner, she asked them if they would like ice cream and warm cherry pie for dessert. Oh, yeah, said Gordy, that'd be great. Don't you mean, why, yes, Aunt Wendy, that would be a delicious way to finish our meal. Oh, brother, Gordy said. Well, don't you have the most polite manners, said Aunt Wendy. Gordy just smiled, his most polite smile. Well, that evening, the boys were watching videos, and when Mega Man was over, Aunt Wendy asked them if they would like to watch another. No, I think I'm going to hit the sack, said Gordy. Oh, and he let out a really big yawn. Gordy, Chucky said, don't you know how impolite it is to yawn in front of a lady? Oh, knock it off, Gordy said as he went up to bed. Well, the next morning at breakfast, Aunt Wendy asked the boys what they would like to do that day. Well, said Gordy, how about we go to the carnival? What he means, Aunt Wendy, Chucky began, is it would be wonderful if you would permit us to attend the carnival today. Oh, we aren't going to do this again, are we? Asked Gordy. Well, Aunt Wendy thought it was a great idea. She said, that's exactly what I was planning to do today. Let's go to the carnival. Well, off they went. And when they were in the fairgrounds, Aunt Wendy gave the boys some money and said, run off and have a great time. I'll meet you back here at the Ferris wheel in just a couple of hours. I'm going to the other side of the fairground to enter my pie in the pie baking contest. And so off they went. Well, the boys did have a wonderful time. And when we catch up with them, they're at the candy counter. I would like to have a candy apple, please, Chucky said in his most polite voice. I don't know, Gordy said. That's going to be your fourth one. I am quite old enough to take care of myself, Chucky said. And then he went to the next counter and he asked the candy lady, could I please have 6 pieces of triple chocolate fudge? Oh, I don't know about this, Chuck, Gordy said. I think I would like to make that 12 pieces, please. I am a growing boy, Chucky added. Well, Gordy didn't know what to think about all of this, but he had an idea. Hey, Chuck, I think you and I should go on a ride. How about we jump on that topsy-turvy twirly ride? Okay, Chuck said. Well, on they got, and they went up, and they went down, and they went back, and they went forward, and they went ziggy-zag, ziggy-zag, ziggy-zag. And when it stopped, oh, Chucky didn't look so good. Gordy, I'm not feeling so good, Chucky said. Oh, really? Gordy smiled. Don't you mean, brother, I'm really not feeling quite well, and I think I might be sick. Well, right then, Aunt Wendy walked up, and she was so excited. Guess what, boys? She said, I won the pie baking contest, and you'll never guess what the prize is. Dinner for 3 at Greasy Hut. So I hope you're hungry, because guess where we're going for lunch? Oh, Chucky said, I don't feel so good. And he turned even greener. My goodness, said Aunt Wendy, what's wrong with him? Oh, don't mind him, Gordy said. I think that he's just got a little case of over polite-itis.
Oh, I think Chucky just overdid it a bit.
I think so too, on food and on being nice.
Does that mean God doesn't care if we say please and thank you and mind our manners?
Oh, he cares very much that we mind our manners, but he also wants us to have a right heart and a right attitude.
So if we talk to people the way we want to be talked to, and we treat people the way we want to be treated, God will be happy and we'll be happy.
Now that's what I call minding your manners.
Ew.
Oh, hey, Sue Lynn, move over. Ah, that's better. Now, give me another straw.
Get it yourself. I'm not your maid.
What an attitude. Oh, hey, Mr. Stan, I want some more of them chips.
Oh, you're such a pig. Have you ever heard of the word polite?
Yes, my mom's always telling me to be polite. But you aren't someone special. You're just Sue Lynn.
Well, Josiah, do you only have to be polite to special people?
Well, gee, Mr. Stan, I gotta be polite at the dinner table. I gotta be polite when I go with my mom and dad shopping. I gotta be polite when we go to my grandma's. I have to be polite all over the place. I need a break.
You need a break from being polite?
My mom says we should always be polite.
My mom says we should always be polite. Ah, Sue Lynn, your mom is always coming up with goofy ideas.
My mom doesn't have goofy ideas. My mom is right.
No, your mom thinks everyone should say please and thank you for everything. And it just isn't normal, Sue Lynn. You have a weird mom.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Josiah. That's not nice. In fact, that's very rude to say those things about Sue Lynn's mom. In fact, I have a feeling that your mom expects you to be polite all the time as well.
Aw, Mr. Stan, a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
So, do you think that real men aren't polite?
Well, no, not all the time, Mr. Stan. Us guys have to have a place where we can just be...
Where you can just be rude?
Oh, you're just a girl, Sue Lynn, and you don't understand. Right, Mr. Stan?
Well, I'm sorry, Josiah, but I happen to think that it's very important to be polite all the time.
Mr. Stan!
Ha! See, Mr. Rude wanna be a man?
But I can't go around saying please and thank you all the time. And you mean that I should say excuse me when I do things too?
Well, what sort of things are you talking about, Josiah?
Well, kind of things like this.
Oh, you're so rude. That's disgusting.
Oh, Josiah, that's enough. You know, Sue Lynn's right. You are being very rude.
The way you both feel, I'll just take my rude self to some other friend's house where I can be myself. I knew I shouldn't be hanging around with some old girl anyway. Always say please, Josiah. Don't belch, Josiah. Hold the door open, Josiah. Walk straight, Josiah.
Well, good riddance. Goodbye. Go play with those stinky boys anyways. Maybe you can have a belching contest or something. Good riddance. Goodbye.
Yes, Mrs. Banks, I found it. Yes, and it's in good shape. And I'm bringing it over right now. Okay, thank you. Bye. Hey, Joel. I bet you got a slice of Miss Charity's delicious chocolate cake in that container.
How'd you know that, Constable Howie?
Well, I was in the diner earlier today, And she told me that she was saving that piece of chocolate cake especially for you.
She did?
Yes, sirree. And she told me how impressed she was with you.
She is?
Oh, yes. She was boasting about how polite you were when you were in the diner the other day, even though Jordan was being really rude to you.
Did she tell you that Jordan wanted my piece of cake, but I wouldn't let him have it?
Yes, and she also told me that you wanted to share that piece of chocolate cake with him because it was the last one in the diner, but he refused because he wanted it all for himself.
Did she tell you how he even tried to stick his finger in my piece of cake?
Yes, and she told me how he leaned over the table and sneezed all over it.
Constable Howie, that was so gross. And he didn't even say excuse me or anything.
That was rude. but she did tell me how polite you were, and you said, "God bless you," and handed him a napkin.
Did she tell you what she did next?
No, are you going to tell me?
Well, Miss Charity started to lecture him about how germs are spread, especially through coughs and sneezes. And if you don't cover your mouth...
She was right about that.
And then she said, oh, let's get rid of these yucky germs.
And then?
She took that piece of cake and dumped it right into the garbage, germs and all.
Wow, what did Jordan do?
He sat there with his mouth wide open, just like this. And then he looked at Miss Charity, and then he looked at me, and we all started to laugh.
Wow, well, you know, I am sure glad that Jordan got over his anger.
Me too. Now, how would you like a taste of my cake?
No, Joel, you're so polite. I think you deserve that cake. Now, you go home and you enjoy it.
Okay. See you later, Constable Howie.
Bye, Joel. Hello, Jesse.
Hello, my name is Tom Collins, producer of Faithville and Miss Charity's Diner. We're hearing from you that you're learning and enjoying our programs, and that's wonderful. You can learn more about us at our website. We're a worldwide nonprofit media ministry that depends upon your prayers and support. We need your donations to continue our good work, and your donation is tax deductible. You can go online to make your donation on our website at faithville.com now, or you can mail your check payable to Faithville, Box 7, Maidstone, Ontario, Canada, N0R1K0, or Box 441, 665, Detroit, Michigan, USA 48244. Or you can call to donate by credit card to Faithville at 1-888-450-1111. Thank you for helping Faithville and Miss Charity's Diner bring the good news of Jesus to children in your community and around the world.
Wasn't that a funny joke, Mr. Stan?
Oh, Sulin, you sure can tell a funny joke.
Thank you. Mr. Stan, may I please have some more pop?
Why, sure you can.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stan.
You're welcome. You know, it's a pleasure to serve such a polite young lady.
Oh, and Mr. Stan, would you please pass the straw over to me?
Well, I would be honored to give a straw to such a polite young lady.
Thank you, Mr. Stan. You're such a gentleman.
Okay. Quit rubbing it in.
Oh, did you say something to us, Josiah? I mean, with me just being an old girl or something, I didn't think you were speaking to me.
Aw, Sue Lynn, stop kidding a guy when he's down.
Well, Josiah, we thought that you were over at your friend's house being real men.
Yeah.
His mom grounded him and told me to go home and tell my mom how rude we were.
You mean she actually expected you, wannabe men, to be polite?
Aw, I'm gonna be in real trouble when I go home. His mom said she was shocked at our behavior and that she knew my mom taught me better manners. My mom's gonna be so mad at me.
Well, Josiah, we did try to tell you, but you didn't want to listen.
I know. I thought it sounded cool not to say please and thank you. It seemed like such a good idea at first. It was kind of fun for a little while.
Well, unfortunately, Josiah, doing wrong things does seem fun sometimes.
Until you're caught.
And until you realize that it's not as cool as you thought. You know, Josiah, being polite should be something that you want to do. We always want to grow up, but being grown up comes with certain things that are expected of us. A real man or a real woman knows the importance of being polite and treating others politely. You never grow too old to want someone to say please to you or thank you. And taking your turn and letting others go first isn't something that you only do when your mom and dad are watching. It's something that you should do all the time. That shows other people that you're all grown up. Being polite means that you're old enough to consider someone else's feelings.
So I shouldn't have belched at their dinner table when his mom was eating.
Yeah, that would have been a no-no, Josiah.
And if I was really grown up, I would have said thank you when she made me hot chocolate instead of slurping it from my spoon and blowing bubbles.
Oh, yeah. I think saying thank you and not slurping the bubbles would have been much more polite.
And I'm really in trouble when I get home.
Yeah, I kind of think that maybe you are in some serious trouble, Josiah.
Oh my. You burped at their dinner table?
Yeah.
And you slurped your hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh man, we may never see you again.
I know.
Miss Charity, would you please pass me the dishcloth?
Sure, Carl. Here you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Miss Charity, would you please pass me the counter cleaner?
Here you go, Carl.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Miss Charity, would you please...
Okay, that's it. What is going on here? I've never heard you say so many please and thank yous in all the time that I've known you. What are you up to?
Well, I'm being polite. Isn't that what today's show is all about?
Why, yes, today's show is about being polite.
Well then, don't you want me to learn from the shows?
Well, we all want to learn from the shows.
Well then, Miss Charity, would you please give me a raise?
No.
Hey!
You thought you'd get me on that one, didn't you, Carl?
Sure did.
Oh, you're funny. Enjoy washing the counters, Carl.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl.